Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. How is everyone this lovely final day of September? That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September 30th, 2023. And, as you can see, we have jumped the gun. We have actually gone a little bit early on the Halloween horror festivities here on DSPGaming. And there's a good reason why. It's because today we are going to start the Separate Ways DLC in Resident Evil 4 Remake. And since we're doing that, it made sense to kind of adopt the new decorations and or animations for Halloween. There's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be new borders, there's going to be new artwork, there's going to be, as you can see, new background, and yes, new animations for the month of October. Just listen to this. You ready for this? Every single level of contribution except for memberships. So any level of Super Chat, any level of tip has a new animation. We've brought back the classic Halloween animations from the past, and we have all new Halloween animations for this year. I kind of don't want to spoil because I want you guys to see them in action, obviously, for the very first time on stream. Some of these are absolutely amazing. Let's just put it this way. Classic scenes from horror movies that you suggested in some cases will be played here on stream no matter what kind of contribution comes in. I just noticed that this tree is curved at the top. There you go. That's a little better. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing, because some people are like, what are these decorations? The thing is, I wanted to do red lighting today for Resident Evil 4 Remake since we're playing the Separate Ways DLC, the return of horror to my streams. But I realized you can't really see the decorations with this lighting, right? They're actually really hard to see. So I did all the decorating last night, and I realized you probably can't see it. I mean, all we can do real quick, I'm going to change it back, but if you like change the lighting around, see, now it stands out a lot better, does it not? So to show you, I'm trying to think, like, what's the best? I guess the blue is probably the best, right? The blue is probably the best lighting, where it stands out the most. Actually, you know what I could do? I mean, it's supposed to be yellow, but it looks white on camera. So what are these decorations? Well, first of all, on my right, the returning classic potion. The Halloween cat has returned after many years, still here every year for our Halloween festivities. I'm trying to get Potion to face the camera. There we go. So Potion here to hold a pumpkin. It's nice, people like Potion. And then we've got, of course, the Pac-Man ghost has returned. I figured for the month of October we should have a ghost on stream. Why have a game over sign when we have a ghost, right? So that'll be kind of cool. Above me is another ghost hanging in the background, and you'll be able to, you know, as I play games, basically I'm sitting like this, you'll see it a lot better. That's why I kind of put it right there. And then over here, we've got a killer plant with big fangs coming off of its face. If I move this flower around, perhaps you'll see the fangs a little better. I actually got that last year. And then we've got the Nevermore Crow. It's a crow holding a sign that says Nevermore, sitting on a skull. And then we've got the Halloween tree and some little like Halloween garland with little pumpkins on it. I have ornaments to put on this, but I didn't have time to really mess with them. So I didn't have time to put any ornaments on the tree. And quite frankly, with this new setup, remember, last year, I redesigned my whole setup from the ground up. It used to be more zoomed in because this camera was an older camera that was crappy and fuzzy. So I had to zoom in, and therefore you saw these decorations like up close. Now everything's kind of panned out because I'm in actual true 1080p HD. But at the same time, it's not going to look as prominent as it used to, So, it is what it is. It's nice. It's something I threw together last night. In reality, I was not going to set this up until tomorrow. But two things happened. Number one, I realized, oh crap, today is Resident Evil 4 Remake. A lot of people will be tuning in for survival horror today. Wouldn't it make sense for me to have the new setup today rather than tomorrow when I'm actually not playing any horror, right? That was number one thing. Number two, tonight I actually have to set up the playlist for the React show tomorrow. So I already have to be in this office late tonight to do that. And I'm like, dude, do I really want to be decorating while I'm also doing that? And then in addition to all of that, it just so happened that the new animations and stuff came in. And I was like, oh, they're already here. They're early, so this is good. I can set it up early if I want. So here's the way it's going to go. If you tip $5, $10, $20, $50, or $100, every single level has a brand new Halloween themed animation. I think the best one I put at 100, we'll probably see it like once this month. Seriously, because I never get tipped $100. So hopefully we get to at least see it once, but I'm telling you, that's like the best one. All right. And then for super chats, the standard super chat, the lowest level one is actually a Halloween animation. And then $5, $10, 20, and 50, I believe, for super chats. Okay, those are the levels there. So the new animations are on the tips. The retro throwback legacy animations are on the super chats. Okay? So if anyone contributes, no matter how you contribute, you're seriously going to see a new animation. All right? So that's pretty neat, obviously. So thanks in advance, obviously, to anyone who supports this channel in the month of October coming up. And of course, today, I should mention this. Today is September 30th. Today is the last chance to contribute for the month, and it would help a lot, being that it's the final day. Anything would be appreciated. Obviously, tips would be great because that's going to allow me to afford all the games coming up in the next month. That's going to be chaotic. Super chats today would be great because they will count for me to get paid next month. So actually, if you super chat today, it counts like right away. Even memberships and gifted memberships would be great. My goal is to hit 675 by the end of the week. We went down to 641 overnight. We lost over 10. What can you do? Probably some gifted ones from last month that expired. Hopefully we can get back up to that level. Okay? So, anything today, greatly appreciated on that front. Now, of course, if you like the stream, if you talk with me, if you're watching this on demand, and you leave comments on the video, etc., all of that helps as well. All right? All of it. So thank you in advance to anyone who supports my content here on DSP Gaming. We are in the Halloween vibe. Now, what special things are going to be happening in the month of October? Because I always do a bunch of special things in October, okay? Number one, there's going to be a Halloween marathon on Halloween. That's Tuesday, October 31st. I'll be dressing up in a costume. My wife and I already have some plans, or ideas of what we might get. We're going to go out in the next couple of weeks and get a costume, all right? I haven't gotten it yet, but we're going to think about that, so I will be in costume all day long. Number two, it's going to be a marathon of video games. Notably, you guys are going to nominate and vote on the games you want to see me play during that event. How do you do that? Well, it's not live yet. It's going to go live as of tomorrow morning. All right, I'm going to put up 2 threads here on DSP Gaming on the community tab. One will be for everyone, and one will be exclusively for channel members. So if you're a channel member in the month of October, you get priority to suggest video games for this upcoming marathon event on Halloween. The way it'll work is that people will be posting up nominations for the next week to 2 weeks, and then at the end of that week to 2 weeks, I will tally up the votes to see what games were most nominated. You know, whatever was the most frequently nominated, then we'll end up in a final poll, and we're going to have a members-only poll and a public poll, and people will be voting on those. And whatever ends up, winning the polls, those will be the games that I play during the marathon event. Now, I would recommend horror-themed games, and in fact, for the first time ever in many years, PC games are eligible. because I have a mini PC that I can now play games on. I just did Chrono Trigger, which was really awesome, and I'm looking forward to playing more things on that mini PC over time. So this is, I've never had that before, right? We can actually have more freedom in what we do for this Halloween event. So start thinking, because as soon as tomorrow, you're going to be able to start nominating the games for this event, okay? And I'm excited to see what you guys vote on. Now, in addition to a marathon of video games, there's also going to be food. I'm probably going to order food for delivery that day. And we're going to have a nice meal together, a feasting with Phil, right? Which will be fun as well. Now, there's always more suggestions. For example, I know for a fact some people are going to probably say, well, are you going to do WWE Sims? Well, I mean, we could, but I didn't even buy the new WWE game this year because I didn't feel like it needed to. Like, by the way, no one really missed it. If you didn't notice, I didn't buy WWE 2K23. Did we really miss out on anything? No, we did not. So, I could do another horror-themed sim in WWE if you guys wanted me to, but I'm not committing to that. That's up to you guys. If that's something you wanted to see me do, you know, on the marathon, I could set that up ahead of time and do like a sim battle royal match. I've usually enjoyed doing that. Or any other suggestions you guys have. Now, what else is going on in October? Well, once a week, I'm going to be reviewing a horror movie. I already reviewed Halloween from 2018, and I'll be reviewing Scream 5, Halloween Kills, Scream 6, and Halloween Ends all over on my React channel, DSP Reacts, once a week, usually probably Monday or Tuesday night. So head over to that channel if you haven't checked it out yet. That's youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. Check it out. It's going to be horror stuff there once a week, all month long, excuse me. In addition, my React show that I do on Sundays, I'm suggesting to people to suggest Halloween-themed or horror-themed videos. So I guarantee you, over the course of this month, we will probably see a lot of horror-themed stuff going on the React channel as well for that show that we do. And on top of all of that, I'm going to be doing a special tier maker event where I'm going to be ranking horror movie franchises against each other. It's going to be a fun late-night stream, one random night that we'll do together, where it's going to be like Friday the 13th versus Child's Play versus The Exorcist versus Hellraiser. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have all the big prominent horror movie franchises, and we're going to be arguing about which is better, which is worse, which should be ranked higher, which should be lower. It's going to be fun. I love doing those tier makers. So that's going to be a special event I'm doing as well. So we've got a lot, and all that in addition to the regular gameplay. You know, we're going to have so many games that I'm playing in the month of October. Just a little preview here because we went through the list yesterday, but here you go. Let's go through it again. Ready for this? Let me get the list out. Hold on. So, Assassin's Creed Mirage, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta. I'm going to be at least trying Forza Motorsport. No committing to playing the whole thing, but I'm going to try it out. Lords of the Fallen, Sonic Superstars, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Alan Wake 2. All of those games I'm going to be messing with in the month of October. Most of them I'll probably do full playthroughs of. There may be an exception or two of a game that I don't like as much. But man, that is going to be a crazy month of epic games, fun Halloween festivities, new animations, all kinds of cool stuff, movie reviews. I'm excited. This time of the year is my favorite time of the year, by far, because we get so much going on in games and other things going on. The weather is cooled down. It's a cool, cloudy day out there today, so I get a nice breeze in here as I go to play games. This is amazing. I'm having a good time right now. If you can't tell, I'm in the best mood I've been all week right now, and that's a good thing. So, that being said, it's time to get depressed. Let's talk about yesterday. Yeah. All right. In reality, I've made peace with myself. All right. I'm not going to be depressed about yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday and what happened. Okay. So yesterday, I came back from my break, and basically there was a twofold day. The first half of the day was Lies of P continuing on. And then the second half of the day was going to be Friday Night Fights, Street Fighter 6, where I was going to really try once again to play with the new character, Aki, after having a very lackluster performance with this character earlier in the week, to the point where I got so infuriated at bad performance that I got super angry and I just kind of exploded on stream. I was punching my joystick. I was screaming. It got to the point where people were actually sending me messages on my day off. I hope you're okay. You should take time away. My wife yelled at me and was like, why are you acting like that? Like, it's just a fucking video game. Just relax. You don't need to be freaking out over stupid Street Fighter, right? So, I came back yesterday, and first of all, the podcast yesterday was great. We had a ridiculous amount of news stories to talk about, as usual, on my day off, and we had a good time together, relaxing and chilling. And then we got into Lies of P. Now, Lies of P has been patched, and the game has been changed significantly in a couple of ways. Number one, carrying capacity has been reduced, meaning most items don't take as much to carry, and you have higher carrying capacity. This has been a pet peeve of mine the whole game. Capacity ended up being my highest stat, above my actual build, like above my technique build. I had to keep putting stats into capacity just to put equipment on my body because everything was so dang heavy in this game. So that was changed. In reality, did it change my game that much? No, it didn't. I think I was able to take off the amulet that increases carrying capacity, and I put on a different amulet, and that was about it. Like, I couldn't even put another thing on, so I got one extra amulet out of the deal, essentially. Okay? I will say this. One of the significant differences is that the mini-boss style characters or elites are not as tough. Now, they stagger way easier. Like, they used to be super tanks. We have to hit them a million times to stagger them or parry like crazy. Now, you hit them 4 or 5 times and they stagger. And they have way less health. So they're way easier to fight now. They don't deal less damage. They still hit like tanks. But at least now, they're more manageable to fight, and I feel like they're more fair. They're supposed to be normal enemies. Why are they acting like these are all bosses in the middle of a fucking stage, right? It's kind of ridiculous. Supposedly, they have nerfed other bosses. I don't know. We didn't get to any other bosses that they have nerfed yet. Outside of that, the game seemed pretty similar. I guess the other thing is they nerfed the health of butterflies. Butterflies are the rare creatures that when you kill them, you get, like, good items, crafting items, kind of like the crystal lizards in Dark Souls or the dung beetles in Elden Ring. So, they seem to be changed and fixed, too. A little bit easier to kill now. We got through the entirety of Chapter 8. We got to the very end. The thing is, we didn't finish it because there was some sidetracking and some side questing to get different items and mini quests and things done. So we did that first and took almost 45 minutes of the stream. And we spent about 2.5 hours on the stage. We did get to the boss. I was learning the boss pattern. I was getting better at it. And then I ran out of time. All right. So running out of time, I was like, nah, what are you going to do? Right? It is what it is. We're going to reassess and reapply ourselves when I play again, which will actually be tomorrow night. So it is good. We got through the entirety of Chapter 8, but didn't finish it. Okay? So there you go. Then, last night was Friday Night Fights. All right? I'm just going to be as dead honest and transparent and upfront with you as I can. I'm not cut out to play every kind of character in a fighting game anymore. I'm too old, and I don't have the reactions, and I don't have the execution to do it anymore. Maybe when I was younger, I would have been able to. I just can't do it anymore. After having played with Aki for 2 days, I'm not kidding you. My hand last night had crazy, like, numbness and pain in these 2 fingers, okay? Even today, this morning, I have big tenseness in all of the muscles of my right hand. It's carpal tunnel. I'm getting carpal tunnel. I always knew I was going to get it as I got older. When I go like this, I feel all pain in the fingers as I stretch out my hand. Because I played with Aki for 2 days, and she's an execution heavy character in Street Fighter 6. So, I just can't do it. I tried. The thing is about Aki. Here, I've said about this, I like the character. She's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. She can zone. She can rush down. She can mix up. She has a little bit of grappling. She has a little bit of everything, okay? She does have really high damage combos. The problem is, every moment you're playing with her, you need to have... Oh, there's a nice animation. Ah! Our legacy animation. I love that animation. That's really old, by the way. That animation's been around for like 6-7 years, actually. Very nice. First Halloween animation obtained. Very nice. Anyway, basically, you know, after having tried Aki for 2 whole days, you know, it gets to the point where it's like, I realize I just can't do it. Listen, I'm at master rank with Blanca, Honda, and Lily. Arguably, yes, they are easier execution characters. Absolutely they are. I feel like maybe there's a class of character in this game that I can't play. Maybe the high execution, rushdown style, need to do everything really fast, giant combo style characters, they're just not for me. I can't do it at this point. You know, it's sad to admit when you're getting old and or you're just not good enough at something. You have a sense of pride, like me. I've been playing fighting games since the 1990s. I played them competitive for 7 straight years in the 2000s. It's kind of, it's not embarrassing, but it's almost sad to admit when you have to say you're just not good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. I think Aki is too high of an execution character for me. And the thing is, I'm not saying that moving forward, I'm not going to try new characters. Quite the contrary. In order to get good at a fighting game and stay at a competitive level, you do need to try every character. I want to reiterate that. I've said this before, that, excuse me, that the reason that I've learned so much about Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is because I play with every character. I'm not good with every character, but I know basics and general strategies with each character, and I understand what they're all capable of. Because of that, I know matchups better, and I know more capable. You know, you have to do that. You can't say, oh, I'm just going to play with Blanca and only Blanca, and I'm only going to memorize Blanca, and that's it. You'll actually be at a giant disadvantage. And I hate to say it, back in the day, that's what a lot of American players would do. They'd become a one-character specialist, but then they wouldn't learn the rest of the cast, and then when they went into a tournament, they get spanked because they'd fight characters they never even knew were competitively good, and they would get dominated. Imagine being a top-ranked American Super Turbo player, and you only play top tiers like Balrog, Vega, Old Sagat. You go to a tournament and Camby spanks you. And you're like, that's what it used to be back in the day. So, in order to get really good at a fighting game, you have to know every character's capabilities. So, even though I played with Aki for 2 days, and I'm telling you guys, there's no way I'm going to be able to play with that character. I just can't do it. The execution, I don't have it, okay? At least I learned something. I learned what she can do. I learned the combos. I know exactly what tricks she'll be using if I face against her, right? So that at least is a good thing. I don't feel like I wasted my time. I feel like I'm disappointed because that's really the first time in the game where I've tried to learn a character and kind of realize it's not going to work. You know, the other character I would compare to that, Chun-Li. I played Chun-Li basically 1 day, and I liked her, but again, in order to do her combos, you need to do these stance changes. And I just couldn't do it. I was trying to do it during the combo. I couldn't do it. Every time I tried, I would fail. I would drop the combo. I would mistime the combo. But everyone else online is doing it, and I can't do it. You know, it's because, I'm going to be honest, it's not because they're cheating. It's not because they have, because people were saying that last night, too. They were like, oh, well, you see everyone on PC is using these macros. And they basically have everything pre-programmed, so they don't need the execution. They could just run a macro and do like a big combo. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I believe that. That sounds to me like an excuse. Or like maybe there are a few people who do that. Do I really believe that every single person that I'm playing in this game has that? No. I will be honest. It's weird to me, okay, that there's so many players I play that are PC. There's an overabundance amount of players who play this game on PC. That's really ridiculous. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you look, whenever I do a ranked session, it's like 80% of my fights are PC. And by the way, PC has an advantage over console. PC players have less input lag. So they all have an advantage over me every time I play. I feel like I'm a little slow. How is it that I try to react to Drive Impact? It's hard. How do they do it so easily, so fast? Maybe they do have an unfair advantage. I don't know. All right. But I'll tell you right now, the execution deal is on me. You know, I actually went offline. I turned off the shortcut buttons, so it wasn't the shortcut buttons malfunctioning. It's me. I'm too old for very high execution in a fighting game like that. So I got to stick to characters that have like medium to low execution, and then I have to think, right? How do you think I hit master with Lily? It's not because the character has a great moveset. It's because of this. Because I kept thinking and outplaying my opponents. That's why. So that's how I'm going to have to excel in fighting games moving forward. Because this high execution stuff, I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying so much. And I tried so hard. And I failed. And at least now, I will admit, it's not the game. It's not the online play. It's not the other players. It's me. I failed. And I have to accept my shortcomings and move on and become a better player for it. Rather than just sit here and whine and bitch and complain and or waste your time. Because I feel like if I keep playing with Aki, I'm not going to get any better. I'm just going to keep frustrating myself, and I'm going to keep hurting this hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, my hand legit hurts. I think I'm going to keep hurting my hand if I try to play with a character like that. Okay? So, I officially throw in the towel when it comes to Aki. But I'm not throwing in the towel with Street Fighter 6. I am going to continue to play the game and enjoy it. All right. You know, and I know that people will enjoy watching me play with the other characters that I'm good with, and maybe going to other characters as well. What's my game plan for Street Fighter 6? I want to play master rank matches with the characters I'm good with. Blanca, Honda, Lily. Absolutely, I want to focus on those characters, okay? Long term, will I try other characters? I may. You know, I know this sounds weird, but I told you guys that I was actually very interested in Dalsim. I am still interested in Dalsim. I like the character in this game. I just don't think he's great, and he's going to be one of the hardest characters in the game to use, just like Lily. But I got Lily to master, so maybe if I actually committed to it and I learned, I could actually do well with Dalsim. I think I could. I would just have to study a lot, okay? And we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but my next plan is to start master matches. I don't know if it'll be Blanca, Honda, or Lily, but I want to use one of those characters and try to play master level matches. The only roadblock to that is that I haven't used Blanca in over a month. Seriously, I haven't touched the guy since I got him back to master. What was it, late August? So because of that, or was it early September? I don't even know. But the way I see it, it's going to be rusty. Like, I'm going to be rusty, and I'm playing master players who haven't stopped playing. You know, everyone in master, they get a character to master. I got to keep playing master. And they're just fucking playing that character, dominating. And me, it's like I went master, then I went to another character. Then I hit master, then I went to another character, you know? So I basically need to kind of practice. But how do you practice in master? You don't. You play and you lose, right? So what I maybe will do is next time I play, which will be Monday night, maybe we'll go to casual matches. And just for the sake of warming up, do a few matches, like a half an hour of matches where I could try to get my chops back, right? Try to get the basic execution back. Remember the mix-ups, the bread and butter combos, the thing that I was doing. So that way I can, you know, get back on track and then jump back into master and see how it goes. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I officially give up on Aki. I tried for two whole days, all day Wednesday, last night, Friday night fights. I got absolutely nowhere. I got my ass beat last night. It was to the point where it's like, at least I learned, but at the same time, there's no point in, like, beating your head against the brick wall. The brick wall's gonna win. You know what I mean? So there you go. Alright, so that's the deal in Street Fighter 6. Now, let's talk about today and the rest of the week. Alright, let's talk about the festivities and fun that's coming up this week. I'm very excited for this week. It's gonna be a great week of balanced, fun stuff all week long. So today, Saturday, is the premiere of Resident Evil 4 Remake, the Separate Ways DLC, and yes, per your requests, I am playing it on hardcore difficulty. I already played the main game on hardcore difficulty. I see no reason to not play the DLC on hardcore. Of course, you got to keep in mind, I literally haven't touched Resident Evil 4 since, what was it, March, April when it came out. So you're talking like, you know, 6 months ago. So I'm probably going to be rusty. It's probably going to take me a little bit to get used to the game and the controls again. Excuse me. I actually heard that this DLC is around 5 hours long. Now, you say 5 hours long, but you have to understand a couple things. Number one, that's 5 hours long if you're just playing it non-stop. Okay? Number two, that's 5 hours long if you're not interacting with a live audience. Alright? And number three, it's probably 5 hours long if you don't suck. So there's a couple factors thrown in there that make it a little different. Being that I'm an interactive streamer, I'll be talking with all of you as I play. I'll be doing shout-outs and stuff like that. I almost guarantee you the playthrough will probably take more than 5 hours for me. How long? That I don't know. The way I see it, I'll commit to 2 major streams this week, and if we need a little bit of extra time, that's fine. We can always do a third one, or we could do a late night stream if we need to, or whatever, okay? So I feel like we should be alright, as long as we leave enough time. I think we'll definitely have enough time. It should be fun to go back into the world of Resident Evil 4. What a perfect time for it. This is a great way to start the horror season, right? I'm excited for that. I hope that you guys are too. It should be a great playthrough to get things going for this month, okay? So that's today's daytime stream. And then on to the night stream tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, the continuation of Starfield late night chill streaming fun. Tonight it will be the conclusion of the UC Vanguard quest line, and then we're actually going to start the companion mission for Barrett, which we've unlocked his companion mission. And I get the feeling we're very shortly also going to unlock the companion mission for Sarah, because she keeps asking me to talk to her. And usually when, look at this piece of hair that won't sit. You see that? It won't sit still. It's like popping out of my head. Typically, when your companion keeps saying, hey, I want to talk, hey, I want to talk, it means that their companion mission's about to unlock. So I guarantee you it's probably what we're about to do. So we'll see. Then once those companion missions are done, then we're going to go back to the main story for a while. I haven't done the main story in Starfield in ages, and I feel like we need to advance it, because we basically just got a basic understanding of what's going on in the story, and then it just froze, and we went off to do all the side stuff. But now at this point, we've got a great ship to fly around the galaxy in. You know, I've got good weapons. We're good to go, I think. I think we should try to advance the main story a bit. So, yeah, should be fun tonight. Chill late night stream with lots of interaction and a more laid back atmosphere. I hope you'll join me for that on the late stream. Now, tonight, after that stream ends, I'll be setting up the playlist for which we will do tomorrow's React show. It is DSP versus the Internet, my weekly clips React show over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. That's the daytime stream tomorrow. I have suggested that people post up videos related to horror or Halloween. I don't know if they'll do that. It would be great if some people did. That would actually add to the nice, holiday vibe of the month. I guess we'll see what people have suggested. But tomorrow will be a great variety show. It always is a good time on the React show. I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. Then, tomorrow night on the late stream is the continuation of Lies of P here on DSP Gaming. It should be a good time. I'm excited because I love the game, obviously. And we're about to take on the Chapter 8 boss, which I already kind of know the first form, but now we got to do the second. And then move on further into the game. Game's been absolutely outstanding. Can't wait for more. And in fact, on Monday, Lies of P will also be the daytime stream. So we got a night stream and a day stream of Lies of P back to back for you. Monday night will be the next Street Fighter 6 stream. And as I just explained, I will absolutely be using one of the characters that I've got to master. Probably doing a little bit of gameplay, casual play, just to get my chops back. And then jumping into master level gameplay and see how we can do. Okay? Then on Tuesday, it'll be more Separate Ways DLC and Resident Evil 4 and possibly the conclusion. We'll see. Tuesday night will be more Starfield. Wednesday will be more of Lies of P and some more Street Fighter 6, and that will end my streaming week. I will not be here on Thursday. Now, I'm a little confused, and here's why I say I'm confused. The release date of Assassin's Creed Mirage is listed as Thursday, which is October 5th. But then yesterday, people were telling me, is Phil aware that actually Assassin's Creed Mirage does not come out on the 5th? That actually technically comes out on the 6th, but they're going to release it at like 9 p.m. So if you wanted to play it, at night that day, you could. I don't know. I thought it was coming out like during the day and you could play it all day long if you wanted. But I'm not here on that Thursday. That's my day off for the week. I just explained to everyone yesterday that basically these game release dates are out of control. All games used to release on Tuesdays. Then they decided about 5 years ago, well, all games will now release on Fridays for a simultaneous worldwide release. Then all of a sudden, they started releasing games on Thursday. Then they started releasing games on Wednesday. Then they started releasing games on Monday. Like, why are you releasing games on every random day? No one can plan for when your game comes out because every game seems to have a different release window. It's really odd. So I don't know why that's happening, but I don't know if this game comes out Thursday or not. I'm telling you right now, I'm starting Assassin's Creed Mirage this Friday, the 6th. Okay, that's when the playthrough starts. I'm very curious to see how it's going to go because this is supposed to be their throwback attempt. Rather than it being some ginormous open-world Witcher 3 knockoff like the last several Assassin's Creed games have been, this game is supposed to be, hey, let's actually go back to our roots and make a game that plays similar to the older... What is it, this piece of hair? It really will... Look, this where is it? This is it, right here. This piece of hair, right here. Because look, this hair, I can brush back nicely, and it goes right into place. You see that? What is this? Stop this. I'm going to go scissors. Dang. I need like a giant hair iron and go, start teasing my hair in the middle of a fucking pre-stream here. Anyway. All right, I'm just going to ignore it. It's like a pet peeve of mine. If I look on camera and I see hair poking out, it kind of bothers me. Anyway. So, I am interested to see if Assassin's Creed Mirage will be better. I hope it will be. I hope we really enjoy it. Because there's parts of the previous Assassin's Creed games, the last 3, which I call them the Witcher trilogy. Because they really were. They all played like Witcher 3. They're fine games. They're just too long. They're too open world. They take too much time investment. There's too much diversion from a coherent plot line for side content that just isn't that interesting. And it ends up kind of being way too much of a time sink grind to really enjoy them. If they have a more streamlined Assassin's Creed experience that plays like the classics, I honestly think it'll do better. I think it would perform better and would be more entertaining. Let's see this coming Friday if that's true or not. Okay? So, then after that, you already know, I told you, we got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta coming out soon, the conclusion of Lies of P, obviously, and many other new games that I'll be checking out over the course of October, okay? So there you go, before we get too ahead of ourselves, all right? And I already talked about, today's the last week of September. Today's the last day of September. So any contributions today would be greatly appreciated to have a strong ending to the month. So thank you in advance to anyone who contributes, whether it's a membership, a gifted membership, a super chat, a super sticker, maybe a super thanks on a video in a comment, or a tip. All would help tremendously, and we have all new animations today. So far, you've only seen the Legacy super chat animation. Literally any level of tip, any level of super chat, you will see the new animation. So thank you in advance to anyone who contributes, okay? All right. Before we get to shout-outs and other things, I will say one thing, because I have recently, well, not really recently, in the last few months to year, I've started to kind of describe myself as a YouTuber and a online creator a little different. I've been saying the statement, okay, that I've been making curated content for my audience. And I think a lot of people don't really understand what that means. What does it mean to make curated content versus just being a content creator in general? Because there's a lot of people out there on YouTube and on the internet in general. Doesn't have to be YouTube, you do Twitch and other places. And I feel like what they do is they try to make content that is more towards a generalized, open viewer base. What does that mean? These people make content that is supposed to go along trends, memes, hype, and that means they have to follow all of the common methodologies of content creation to try to get attention. All right? These people are heavily reliant on a mass consumption of their content in order to be successful. You understand that these kind of people have to constantly be pumping out content that is viral in order to really get noticed and make a living. They also have to then, because of their viral popularity, accept a bunch of things like product placements, advertisement campaigns, sponsorships. This is how they end up making 7 figures, a lot of these people, okay? I'm not like that, as you know. I'm not making content that I feel would be digestible to a mainstream wide audience. I don't aspire to do that. I hate to say it, but in the last 15 years that I've been a YouTuber, I've seen the audience on this site completely degrade. It went from people who originally, when I started on YouTube in 2009, 2008-ish even, it was people who were positive and eager to watch free content and absorb information. They were open-minded. They were grateful that anyone would be putting out content for them because this was a new avenue for them to get free entertainment and or lots of knowledge at their fingertips. You know, it was a new thing to be able to jump on your computer and watch YouTube and wow, I can see a video game playthrough. I can see a review of a game from someone who's not a shill and actually has nothing to gain by saying it's good or bad. They just are honest. I can laugh at them when they do funny projects, vlogging and stuff like that. It was a different experience. You know, today there is such oversaturation in that market. And there are so many people who have jumped on, again, the content creation bandwagon, that in order to be successful in general, you just have to be like everybody else. You have to follow those same trends, the same viral popularity kind of memes. You have to do that. If a new hot viral game comes out, you have to play it. If you don't, you missed the bandwagon and you just missed out on a ton of popularity and attention and views and money that you could have made. If you don't jump on the new product everyone's trying, the new piece of food that everyone's taste testing, if you're not memeing about the new drama on the internet or the new political thing or whatever it may be, because everyone's a different kind of content creator, you basically can't win, right? But what I've been trying to express to you guys, all right, over the last several years, which I think a lot of people don't understand, is that I'm not like them, and I never aspired to be. When I started on YouTube in 2008, it was a silly hobby. It wasn't anything that I ever thought would grow into anything serious. I wasn't trying to make videos that were going to go virally popular and get millions of views and make me rich. I never cared about that. You understand? There's literally people on this site that all they do is make content to make them rich, and that's all they care about. As long as it pays me, I don't even care what it is. I don't care if it's useful, harmful, positive, negative. As long as there's money lining my pockets because I made it, that's all I care about. That's how these people act and behave. And that's toxic and wrong and very harmful, in my opinion, to the people at large on this planet, but no one really regulates anything. They just let them do whatever they want and continue to make the shitty, harmful content that they make. That's messed up, you know? People out there under the guise of being good guys, but really they're putting out really harmful stuff, and everyone is fooled by hype, by spin, by marketing, and they don't understand that what they're watching is actually harmful to humanity as a whole. But no one will talk about that kind of shit, right? Because we all have to follow the trends and memes, and God forbid you speak up against a big content creator who seems like there's this goody two-shoes, big smiley, when in reality, it's just a facade. All they care about behind the scenes is how that money keeps rolling in, right? So, how am I different? I'm not a content creator. I'm a content curator. You understand? Allow me to explain. Because someone sent me a really awesome definition of this. Okay? So listen to this. Content curation. What does it mean? Well, content curators play a pivotal role in shaping and enhancing the content that audiences will engage with. Their responsibilities encompass not only the creation of content, but its curation, ensuring that it would remain relevant, informative, and appealing to their target audience. This dynamic role involves not only crafting original content, but also seeking out and selecting existing content that aligns with a brand's messaging and objectives. Content curators are, in essence, architects of a brand's digital narrative, carefully selecting, organizing, and presenting content that tells a compelling story and resonates with an intended audience. So what does that mean? That means I am not making fluff content for the masses. I never intended on that. I never once sat down and said, I'm going to make a YouTube video today just for the sake of pumping out a video that hopefully people will watch and laugh at and make me money. Every piece of content that I try to put out on the internet, I attempt to make it meaningful for my specific audience. And I know that my target audience is not widespread. It's not kids. First of all, it's not kids at all. I don't think that any teenagers would enjoy my content. I'm being honest now. Unless they just want to laugh at the old man who sucks at games, I don't think that teenagers would enjoy my content at all anymore. Back in the day, absolutely. Why? Because my commentary back in the day was all immature. It was sex jokes, it was racial jokes, it was stupidity, right? And I did that on purpose because when I started on YouTube, that was the general audience, all right? But over the last 15 years that I've been on YouTube, I've evolved and changed as a person and a creator. I'm not making that kind of content anymore. I've purposefully changed who I am and what I make to have more meaning to my specific audience who actually know who I am and what I stand for. Because as many moronic, mouth-drooling idiots out there who just jump on a hate bandwagon of viral memeing, the lol cow bullshit that makes no fucking sense when applied to me, if you apply it in general to many others. I mean, take a look, I hate to say it, at some of the people who are called the lol cow crew out there. What content do they make and why are they called that? Well, do they have curated content for a specific audience, or are they just pumping out stuff and trying to ride the coattails of embarrassment, viral embarrassment on the internet for pity bucks? That's not me. I tell you specifically, don't ever contribute to my content because of haters and hater activity or anything like that. I only want you to contribute to DSPGaming and DSP Reacts if you like the content I'm putting out. Only like a video if you truly enjoy it. Leave a comment if you want to help me create more curated content specifically for you, because that's how I continue to succeed. But I'm not making stuff to just get a buck. If that were the case, I absolutely would have changed many, many years ago. I would have ridden every popular trend. I would have had the fucking my face on every thumbnail, or whatever it means to be, right? With the same fonts, the same tags. I would have collaborated with people. I would have taken sponsorships. I would have been a paid shill. I had all those opportunities laid out in front of me like all the other YouTubers, and I turned it all down. I never did any of that shit on purpose, because for me, I want to be rewarded for the work that I do, because you like the content I put out that's curated for you, and you reward me by supporting it via crowdfunding. That's the relationship we have. That's the difference between me and all those other people out there that people compare me to. Look at the shit they put out. Do you think these people enjoy what they're doing? The kind of content they're putting out? A lot of them even said publicly they don't. They only do it because it's all they can do making money. It's pretty sad. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do, because I actually have a meaningful audience who I can interact with on a daily basis. And I don't have to do things I don't like to make a living. Let's put it that way. I can be who I want to be and be okay with myself at the end of the day and the things that I do on stream, and I can still make a living doing it. That's the ultimate goal, is it not? I don't harm anyone with the content that I put out. Literally name one person who gets harmed by me sitting here playing video games or having fun conversations with you every day. I don't have to bring people down. I don't have to make drama content. I don't have to be a scumbag to other people, right? Nor do I want to be dragged into other people's nonsense or drama either, right? I absolutely positively try to ignore all of that so that I can make positive, fun content for my audience who I curate that content for. That's the difference between me and other content creators out there. I'm not making mainstream content so that it's virally popular for every kid to digest and send me money because they think that I'm some hot shit who dresses up like a fucking G.I. Joe character with a fucking fake mustache and fucking sunglasses and screaming at a fucking camera, acting like an idiot. I don't have dyed fucking hair so I look like a cartoon character so that kids will ask their mommy and daddy to buy my merch. I don't fucking put out virally very dangerous content, drama content, slander content, literally only bringing down others for my own personal gain. When other people have a bad day, I don't profit, right? I don't do any of those trends whatsoever. Why? Because they don't mean shit to me. I'm not here just to make content for a buck. I never was. I am a curator who makes content for the audience that I'm trying to speak to and be meaningful to on a daily basis. And if it wasn't, and here's the truth that my haters don't ever want to admit, if this wasn't true, I wouldn't be here today. Because if this wasn't true, if I didn't have an audience that appreciated who I was, the content I put out, and the fact that I curated specifically for them, if my content had no meaning to anyone, I wouldn't be here. Why not? Because I don't do what everyone else does. Again, no drama, not trying to take advantage of children, and I'm not doing lolcow shit and embarrassing myself on fucking stream, taking my shirt off and sucking cucumbers and doing fucking stunts for money. I don't do any of that shit. I just sit here and make content I like. And you guys like it too, and I get to make a living doing it. That's the difference between me and everyone else out there who tries to drag me down into their toxic shit. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear a dumb motherfucker out there say that, oh, he's this lolcow group, he's that. I'm nothing. I'm my own man. I'm my own anomaly. One among many who stands alone differently. I will not be brought into your horse shit because you all had to follow the bullshit trends to make a living, and yet either had to embarrass yourself or hurt people to fucking do it. I never had to do that. That's something to be proud of. That's something to feel good about. When you're part of this community and you support this content because you like it, you should like, wow, that's something different that I actually helped create via my support. That's why Phil's still here. You know? Not listening to the toxic nonsense of morons who are jealous Why do you think people try to bring me into their drama all the time? Because they're fucking jealous that I can do this and not be in their bullshit. They're so pissed that they have to do those embarrassing things in order to make a living, and they want me to have to go down to that level too. I will never have to go down to that level because I'm not like them. You understand? You're never going to see me acting like that because I don't have to be. Because you guys allow me to do what I love, truly love. Rather than, wow, I just have to fucking sit here and do shit I truly hate, but it's the only way I can bring in money. That's pretty fucking sad. Now, here's the truth. I wish them all the best. Every person out there who's malicious, every person out there who's done messed up things, I wish them all the best. I just wish that all these people would look in the mirror and realize how truly harmful they are to themselves, to everyone else around them, to people who watch YouTube, to kids, to all these audiences that basically are being abused and or exploited. I wish they would just realize that, because then maybe they would actually try to do something better for themselves, for their audiences, whatever it may be. But sadly, YouTube has become a place where there really is no one caring about that. That anyone can get over for any reason, and there's no one to say, well, wait a minute, that's really messed up because you actually did this, you hurt this person, you exploited this group, you did this. No one does that. Instead, as long as it rolls in and is popular and gets views and makes money, it must be good. That's completely wrong. There's people on YouTube right now who everyone love, and if you actually analyze them and who they really are and what they really do and the businesses that they're really running, you'd be appalled at who they really are. But no one looks that deep because we all want to similarly feel like we could be like them, right? These big celebrities now who are big popular people, right? That, oh my God, this person had a 1 million view video. That must be a great person. What? What? I'm here to tell you folks, as someone back in the day who had viral popularity, all right? Viral popularity begets more viral popularity. When you're popular for popularity's sake until something bad happens and then you've fallen from grace, correct? So you're Mr. Popular until the day when there's a reason to turn against you, and then everyone will virally turn against you because it's just as fun to tear down the person who's popular as it is to jump on the popularity bandwagon. And that's what happened to me, is for a while I was the virally popular YouTuber. And then all of a sudden This Is How You Don't Play came out and it became, oh, so popular, jump on the negativity bandwagon and crap all over Dark Side Phil. Today, the vast majority of people who don't like me don't even know why. They just heard something, right? Oh, I heard something about that guy, right? Do you even know who I am? Did you watch any of my content? Oh, no, I just heard something about him. He's bad news. Wow. So you're an idiot because you didn't actually do anything for yourself. You just listened to stupidity from mouth-drooling idiots who benefit from toxicity on the internet. You know, like the fucking side-scrollers. Complete fucking dunces who didn't do an iota of real research. They just listened to like 1,000 haters. I mean, you have to be the dumbest people on the fucking planet to think that way. Sadly, that's how most people think on YouTube today. They don't actually go out of their way to look to see what someone stands for, to see why there would be positive meaning behind a piece of content that someone puts out. Instead, let's just focus on the viral memes because their haters think that they're a bad person. It's insanity. And that's what I mean. That's rampant on YouTube. It's either someone's ultra squeaky clean popular or someone's just a scumbag. Where's the in-between, right? In reality, no one's perfect. In reality, no one has the ability to be immune from mistakes, right? Everyone makes mistakes. Does that mean that someone should be completely buried? That someone should be completely destroyed because they made a few mistakes over the years? Should the bandwagon of hate continue endlessly for the dumbest fucking reasons? Even when some of the reasons have been disproven and aren't real, just move on to another one, right? I mean, it's really messed up how the internet has treated me over the years. And you know what? Again, as long as I'm able to make content for an audience as small as it is, as long as you guys enjoy this content and you continue to support it, I want you to understand that's all I care about. I will continue to be here for you guys and make this meaningful content, and you please could tell you to tell me how much it means to you, and I really appreciate that. As long as we have that back and forth, that curation, right? I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going, man. You know, the day that I come to stream and I see absolutely no one who's being positive and no one who seems to be getting anything, you know, good out of what I'm doing is the day I retire. All right? I'm going to make that commitment to you right now. All right? I'm seriously, I'm going to put my hand up, and I swear to you right now that the day when I come to a stream and I turn on this stream and no one positive is here saying this is meaningful, this is fun, I love your content, whether it's something I like to listen to every day because I like to listen to news stories or what's going on with you, or I like having a fun conversation with you on a live stream, I learned if this game was worth my time, all the things that I do. The day when that goes away and tell me that's no meaning to what I do, I will retire. I commit that right now because that's all I care about. It's not about paying the bills for me. It's about meaning. Okay? And the thing is, you guys have told me over and over, we love what you do. Even as small of an audience as it is that I have. I would argue, if you take a look truly at my audience, there's probably 10,000 people on this planet who actually really enjoy my content, but they're not here all the time. There's probably, like, at all times in a day, maybe 1,000 positive people who watch my content and like it, and they'll watch the different various things. A few hundred on this video, a few hundred for this other game. They don't all watch everything that I put out. On a given day, you probably get 1,000 unique viewers, and then probably, like I said, probably 10,000 people on Earth who actually still like Darkside Phil's content and follow me and wanna watch what I do. And that's enough for me, man, to know that there's that many people who actually really love who I am and what I'm doing, and that understand that that's why I push forward through all this nonsense. That keeps me going. So thank you for that, really. And when you share your stories of what, what changed something or meant something to you or whatever, that is so cool to me to hear. That's why I want to keep doing this. You understand? So thank you for that. But that's why I'm a content curator. I'm not a content creator. A content creator is someone who just shovels shit out. A content curator is someone who makes specified content that's meaningful to their specific audience and don't care about mainstream popularity. That's me to a T. That's the definition of who I am. All right? That's what I stand for. Curation, not creation. All right. That's my new slogan. Curation, not creation. There you go. All right. By the way, did an animation play for Mr. Game Master Super Chat? Did you guys see it? I don't know if I saw it or not. Did it play? What was it? What was the animation? I missed it because I know it's going to be a returning one, and we missed it. No one's answering. What was it? What was the animation? It was supposed to be a new one. Street Fighter movie? What on earth are you talking about? Street Fighter movie? Huh? What does that even mean? I don't have a Street Fighter movie animation. Resident Evil? Okay, it was Resident Evil. All right. He said Street Fighter movie. I want to see it again. Because that one we barely saw. That one was from last year. And I wanted to see that one again. That's for a $10 super chat. Hold on. Let's watch that one again. We can test it. I think. Let's see if this... Oh, shit. That didn't work. I clicked the wrong thing. That was a fake one. I clicked completely the wrong thing. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this to work. So this is what it looked like. Let's test it. Oh, that's good. That's the intro to Resident Evil 1. But it's me. Yeah, see, we had this one last year, but I had it at some weird level where we never saw it. Like, it played like twice. So now we'll get to see it more this year because I put it at a lower level. It was the $10 super chat level. There you go. And by the way, I'm going to do shout-outs for contributions in just a sec, but I wanted to see the animation for myself. All right, that's still a legacy animation, just that one that most people never saw. You guys probably never even saw that one, right? But yeah, any level of tip, I'm telling you, you'll get a new animation. Except for the 420 and the 666. Those I kept the same. But every other level of tip, you'll see something new, okay? All right, speaking of which, let's actually get to shout-outs now, shall we? Let's see. All right. So we start off today on the YouTube side of things. We had Solid Snoke, who did a super chat and said, any tips on parrying and blocking in Lies of P? You know, it's tricky, and here's why. It's a shoulder button. Now, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but just innately, a shoulder button does not react as well as a face button. It doesn't. There's always a slight more delay to the amount of time it takes for you to push in a shoulder button than it does to tap a face button. So just on the fly, it's a little bit harder because you have to actually time your block or parry slightly earlier than if you were doing a face button reaction, okay? But outside of that, yeah, what I've noticed is that you do have to kind of parry slightly early in the game. From when that, if you actually try to tap the button exactly the time when the animation is hitting you, you're likely going to get hit. So I would say it's better in the game to block early than it is to block late. Because then you take no damage. I mean, you might lose some health, but you can gain it back by hitting them again. So always do your best to try to block a timed block, okay? And by the way, he's another idiotic troll in his 400th sock account. Let me just get rid of him, as you can tell just from his name. Yeah, so I would say try first of all doing it earlier. Once you get the timing down from just blocking, then you can hopefully get the timing down for parrying. Because parrying is definitely harder than just blocking. But it's always about being a little early. You can't do it on, if you do it timed exactly when it hits you, you will miss every time. Okay? That's my advice anyway. So. Okay. Oh, yeah? John says, I usually will move the block button to a trigger instead. It's easier than losing left bumper all the time. Okay. So hopefully that helps solid Snoke. Mr. Game Master had done a super chat earlier. Thank you for that. Adam did a super chat this morning. Said I beat Separate Ways in 4 hours, 56 minutes. So there you go. On average, it sounds like everyone's taking about 5 hours. But you guys are not doing interactions with a live audience. So that's the difference between you and me. Since I'll be interacting with you guys live, it basically means that, I'll be a little bit longer for sure. I know it'll probably take me like 6 or more hours. Cruella DePhil did a super chat and says, how's it going? It's going pretty good. I'm feeling good about today. I think we're going to have fun in Resident Evil, coming back into it for the first time in many, many months. I think that will be a nice chill night in Starfield, so, feeling good about it. Mr. Game Master had done that $10 super chat, and I really appreciate that. Let's get Mr. Game Master on the leaderboard as the latest super chatter. He says, Spider-Man 2, people are already getting review copies. I mean, that's not surprising. The game comes out in, 3 weeks? So they're going to give them a few weeks to review it. I think it's bullshit. Game developers still do this. Why do they get it free? It's a slap in the face to us customers. Well, when you say when they get it free, I mean, to me, that's not even the issue. If someone's reviewing the game and they're getting a review copy, right? My problem with that is that we don't need early reviews anymore. Like, literally, it's a dead practice that should have been abolished the moment when we had YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. We don't need it anymore. This is not a print medium for video games anymore. We don't need people to get a game a month early so they can play through it, make a print article, and put it in their physical magazine that needs to be produced and put out on newsstands. That's why early copies began. That's literally the reason why screeners for movies and early copies began in entertainment for print medium. Yet somehow we're like 20 years out of that, and people still haven't figured out that this is completely unnecessary. I just don't get it. Because this is how the entire games leak on the internet, how the stories are already known, how the whole fucking playthrough's up 3 weeks early. It's asinine that these game publishers and developers haven't figured this shit out yet, that we don't need early reviews. We can literally, we're not dunces. We can wait till the day of release to hear people's initial thoughts who bought it, and then judge for ourselves. We're not all infants. But apparently, the game developers and publishers think we're infants. They think that we're so dumb that because some big profile YouTuber, right? Again, one of the people I mentioned earlier that only pump out the content to make the dollar, that because they're playing a game early and praising it, that we're all going to run out and buy it because we're stupid. That's what they think. They think we're all morons. So every time that you see an early copy go out to someone and they're promoting it early, that's someone who thinks you're a fucking moron and thinks that you're going to buy it just because they said it's good. So how does that make you feel, right? Like you want to watch that content and support it? I mean, come on. Okay. Darth Golbach Re-upping his membership for 8 months and is excited for horror fun. My favorite time of the year. Me too. I love the fall. The autumn is my favorite gaming season, and Christmas is my favorite holiday season. So it's kind of a fun combination. We got horror, we got cool vibes, we got nicer weather, we've got all kinds of great games coming out. We got everything going well right now. I'm really having a good time with everything, right? Very good. Okay. Someone tipped me Leon tipped me $1. Says play Separate Ways on hardcore. It's not super long. I am. I already said I am. I played the whole Resident Evil 4 remake on hardcore. Of course I'm going to play Separate Ways on hardcore. Why wouldn't I, right? I mean, that would be pretty silly if I played the main game on hardcore and then I went back and didn't play the DLC on hardcore. I am. So no worries there. Thank you for the $1 tip. And by the way, no $1 tips. The smallest tip animation is $4.20, and then the standard tip animation start at $5. That's why there was no animation for these. Okay. Claire now tipped me $1. Says, what do you think Capcom should remake next? Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 5, Dino Crisis, etc.? I don't want Resident Evil 5 or 6. I want something that needs it. You know, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 0. Or, yeah, maybe a game that's never been remade before, right? Like Dino Crisis. Make those. Don't make a game that doesn't really need it. Resident Evil 5 and 6 don't need it. They really don't. They're fine. They're perfectly fine as is. We need the older games to have a way to be preserved for a new legacy. Or, remake Resident Evil 1 in the way you remade 2 and 3 and 4. Because Resident Evil 1 had a remake, but it wasn't in that style. I love a Resident Evil 1 that's the third-person perspective with modernized graphics, remixed puzzles, new enemies, more plot. I love that. And I think people would really go crazy for that. Okay. I got a $1 tip from Snow Carl. I appreciate how consistently you make incredible content. He says, I keep up with your content even though I'm not here all the time. Well, thank you, Snow Carl, for the $1 tip. I know you are. You're probably here under 17 socks, and we all know it. But thank you for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. Just like everyone else. We know you're here. We probably talk to you every day, too. Okay. All right. So, I have gotten through the stuff I had to shout out. If any other contributions come in, great. Again, literally every level of tip, every level of super chat has a Halloween animation. There's tons of new ones for you to see. You have not seen a new one yet. It'd be great to see some today. But let's see what you guys want to talk about. No Super Real Vibes. I hope you saw my comment on the Daily Wrap. I don't know. If it's approved, then I saw it. If it's not approved yet, I didn't see it yet. If you did it overnight, I didn't approve comments this morning. I was busy finishing setup and everything. Jade, good to see you today. How's it going? Crackerjack says, do you hand out big candy bars on Halloween? We hand out no candy. We live in a private community. There's no foot traffic, so there's no trick-or-treating here. Derek, love my first movie review. Glad to hear. I'm actually going to be watching Scream 5 within the next couple of nights, one of these nights, and I'll review that Monday or Tuesday. Escanor, Sin of Pride. He says, did you do a Phil's Day Off segment yesterday? Escanor, the best way to answer that question would be to watch yesterday's podcast. Why didn't you? Why are you spamming the chat with this question when all you had to do is watch the podcast? You would know the answer, right? Like, why do I have to derail my stream to answer this? I mean, you're really confusing me here. Yes, Tyler, we know how poorly MK1 runs on the Switch. We've talked about it multiple times. Thank you, No Sleep Real Vibes. Escanor should have prices. I didn't. It wasn't there. So let's think about this. You're spamming the chat to ask, was there a segment in a show when you watched the show and it didn't have the segment? Right? But on top of that, here's the funny part. It did have that segment. It absolutely did. So you watched the whole show and you missed it. Woo! Anyway, let's continue. I just can't get over this. Let's continue. It looks like I have a dollar tip here from Snow Carl. What would be your advice to someone starting out with content creation and streaming to create a consistent income and viewership? Don't. Because, again, from my perspective, you shouldn't be doing this just because it's a job. You should be doing it because you have passion for something, because you have something to share with an audience, because you're an authority on something. Maybe you're a guru and you know a lot of knowledge about a particular subject matter and you like to share it with people. If you don't enjoy what you're making, then don't do it for money. Really. No one, literally, there should not be a single person who says, I've decided I want to be a YouTuber today. This will be my job. Gina, what kind of content should I make? What? No. That should, literally, it should be, I have something to share with the world. It will be meaningful and fun. I'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy it. Let me make that first. Then figure out how can I make a living doing it. Not, how do I make a living on YouTube? I have no clue what even to make. That's insanity. You want to talk about ass backward. That's the definition, I think, of ass backward. Okay? All right. Let's see here. So, I received a $50 anonymous tip. Let's see what the new $50 tip animation is. Are you ready? This is a new one. See, get your feedback on this one. See how creeped out you guys are. You ready? $50 from an anonymous tipper. Here it goes. Keanu Reeves is like, what the? Look at that. That's great. What do you mean you don't get it? Did you ever see Dracula? What's wrong with you? You've never seen 1990s Dracula? You're out of your mind. There you go. So that's one of many. One of many new animations. Okay? Now. That's great. People say, what is that? You really have to... You're a horror fan? You don't know what that is? Good Lord. Don't you know where Keanu Reeves came from, for God's sakes? Anyway. Alright, so we have a big message to read out, but we have Gunner Glasses. So let's do that. Alright, so... This person, anonymous tipper... By the way, let's get them on the leaderboard before I forget. Let's get this on the leaderboard first. I'm going to read their big message here. Ah, shit. Misclicked. Excuse me, it's really disgusting. I'm sorry about that. So, you're 100% spot on today, Phil. You're actually part of my daily routine. I can't say I love all of your content or that I always agree with you, but I do love your honesty. I'm looking forward to your Resident Evil stream today. Please don't let your Aki stream get you down. I love your Street Fighter 6 content. It's made me a better fighting game player, so stay chill, Phil. Yeah, listen. I'm not a perfect guy, all right? And not everything that I put out for everyone will appeal. I know that, but you know what? That's one of the big, awesome positives about being a variety content creator, is that listen to the content I put out. Today we're doing Resident Evil and Starfield. Tomorrow we're doing a react show and Lies of P. Then we've got Street Fighter 6 coming up. Then we've got Assassin's Creed coming up. That's just the next week. You know what I'm saying? That's the awesomeness of being a variety content creator, is that I can enjoy putting out tons of variety of content that appeals to different people. And like I said, not everyone will watch every piece of content. And then people say, well, how can he put out a playthrough where the parts only have a few hundred views, but he makes a living doing it? Because that's like 1/10 of my viewership. I definitely have thousands of people who like the content. They just don't watch everything. Some people watch the podcast. Some people watch the horror. Some people watch the fighting games. Some people watch the big mainstream releases. Some people watch the indie games. Some people watch the retro. There's crossover. That's how it works. And I built it that way. 15 years of this being used instead of just shoveling shit out onto the internet and hoping that morons would watch it. Instead, I use my brain to try to appeal to a variety of intelligent people who like the kind of content that I would make. You understand? It's different than what most other people do. Thank you very much for that tip. Very generous of you. Okay. We've got a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Troll HD Remix. Is anyone else not getting YouTube notifications? Had this problem since yesterday. I'm not getting notifications that you're streaming. I might file a complaint. Does Resident Evil 5 Remake politically correct? Is Resident Evil 5 Remake... Oh, could they make a Resident Evil 5 Remake in the politically correct world? Good luck. Ugh. First of all, let's see what the new $5 tip animation is. Prepare your butts. Oh my god. Ah! That's too close. That's way too close. Ah! I can't take it. Alright. Very nice. Thank you very much for the $5 tip there. Okay. That's right. So, I don't know about YouTube notifications. I've literally, not once in my 15 years using YouTube, used YouTube notifications. I would never use them. They're not reliable. They've never worked. I hear over and over the years that people, sadly, they subscribe to a channel and they just expect that YouTube will work, and it doesn't. So they don't know when someone's streaming. They don't know when someone's uploading. Listen, unlike most other content creators, I have an incredibly consistent schedule. I'm here 6 days a week full-time, podcast, gameplay stream, gameplay stream. My schedule is available on my channel page every night, even on my Twitter account /X account. I am Mr. Consistent. You should not be relying on YouTube notifications to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. There is numerous ways that you can find this out at any given moment. If I said I'm streaming and I'm not streaming, something serious is happening. Because again, I have work ethic. Again, very different from a lot of other internet content creators who are flaky and they stream whatever they want and they play whenever they want. I'm consistent. I treat this like a real job because I care about you guys and I want you to have the content that you deserve. So I work my ass off to put out that content for you. And if I'm not here, I know people actually are upset about it. Like, what happened? Phil said he was going to be here and he's not. I wonder what, they care. And I appreciate that you guys care and wonder what's going on, right? So, I wouldn't say a single person out there should be relying on YouTube notifications. They don't work. They never have. They never will. Look at my schedule. Know I'm here at the same exact times every single day for you guys. Okay? As for Resident Evil 5, I mean, you tell me if you find that offensive or not. I mean, I thought it was scary. I didn't think that Resident Evil 5 was offensive. I found it outright scary. Right? You have to understand, yes, actually there are native tribes and indigenous peoples out there in the world untouched by modern, society. Can you imagine if they got infected with a deadly virus and mutated into killer monsters? That'd be pretty fucking scary to me. And I think that's what they were going for. They were literally trying to scare you with a new kind of horror. But a lot of people, oh my god, indigenous peoples, that's incredibly offensive. It is? It's offensive to say that there's indigenous peoples on Earth? Yes, that's offensive. Oh, okay. Fine, I guess. For sure. That's terrifying. Okay. I got $1.01 tip. Let's see. Why are you playing this now a week after it was released? Because I was busy with a million other things last week. You gotta keep in mind, they didn't announce it ahead of time. This did not have a release date. It was sneak dropped and said, oh, it's coming out all of a sudden. No one knew that Separate Ways DLC was coming out last week. It just happened. And I already had a busy schedule full of games. Now that we have a spot available because Mortal Kombat 1 sucked ass, that's why we're playing this now. This DLC is not new. This DLC is a remake of the DLC from, the early 2000s. This is not like, oh my god, I missed out on a hot new release. It's just a nice expansion. Typically, DLCs don't do as well for me as other games anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't do so well. It's alright. It's a short thing. It's a little bit of a filler before we get to the real new releases of the month. It's not a big deal. I'm actually wondering why you're so concerned about it and treating it like it's a big deal. You know, I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to roll with it. But I'm not too concerned that I'm playing it a week after it came out, right? Since when did I become Mr. Day One Views in 2023? Are you crazy? This is not, you know, 15 years ago, where I was the guy to run to the store and buy the game and rush home and immediately start getting a playthrough up on the internet. Those days are long gone, right? Jade, I know you love Resident Evil. I remember you loved all the playthroughs that I've been doing of Resident Evil over the last few years. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. Cool spot. Phaser, this is the best job I've ever had by far. Even with all the ups and downs and the tumultuous nature of being a content curator for the internet and having to worry about various certain things, this is still the best job I've ever had in my life. It's also been the most consistent and the job I've had the longest. I started doing this full-time 2011. I've been doing it for 12 years now. I'm still doing it. And no other job has even come close. Closest was the helicopter company, and that wasn't even 5 years. Well, Yellow Crayon said they enjoyed my review of the Halloween movie. I'm glad you liked it. The Ada DLC is like 8 hours if you play it in one sitting, says John. Well, most people are saying they beat it in 5. But again, I'm going to be taking my time. I'm going to be talking with you guys as we play. So it's okay if it takes me 2-3 streams to beat it. I'm in no big hurry, you know. There really is no big hurry to finish it. There's not a lot going on right now besides Lies of P is the other focus. So I'm down for having it take a little longer. That's cool. What's above the skull here, Derek? It is the crow, the raven holding the Nevermore sign. You could probably see it better with different lighting. See? When it's red, everything's so dark you can't really see stuff. But if you have like lighter lighting, you could... Oh, look at that. That's even... Yeah. That's the Nevermore crow holding above the skull. The mutant plants. Some killer roses with thorns. You know. Some various stuff I just tossed together. A little ghost above me. Some various things I tossed together. Nothing too crazy. Nothing really particularly new this year. Okay. Let's see here. All right, more tips are coming in. Wow, thank you guys. I got a $15 tip from Dan, the man who says, "Hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan?" So, oh, wait a minute. That's another tip level. All right. Everyone get ready for the $10 tip animation. Here we go. Per your suggestions. I am a lawyer taking a shit about to be eaten by a T-Rex. Very nice. That's a good one. Everyone loves Jurassic Park. Very nice. Thank you very much to Dan for that tip. Thank you, thank you. Dan the man, that is. All right. There were a few that were suggested for Jurassic Park. That's the one that turned out the best. I guess it was attempted to Ian Malcolm. Remember the other one was Ian Malcolm with the flare running from the T-Rex? But because of... Here's the truth. What you guys don't realize about the AI face transfers, they don't work well with motion. If you try with motion, they don't transfer. It just looks like shit. It just looks like pixels, or you can't... It doesn't work. So they really work with stationary scenes. You see? So you go. There you go. Your tip animation is behind the chat on a smart TV, so turn off the chat. Are you here to watch my show, or are you here to talk with the chat? If you want to talk with the chat, open your phone. Right? I'm not going to move my animations to the other side of the screen. It's ridiculous. Close the fucking chat. No one cares about that. Anyway. I received a $1 tip. Hey, Phil, do you know Assassin's Creed comes out this Wednesday on PS5 on the 4th? Maybe you should look into playing it before your day off. That's incorrect. It does not come out on the 4th. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Everyone's saying that it comes out on the 5th, and some people are saying it doesn't even come out till a late time on the 5th. But I'm playing it on Friday. Like I said, I'm starting it on Friday as the daytime stream. That's how I'm covering it. So there you go. The Ghostbusters animation, that's for a super chat. That's there. I have the The Ghostbusters animation's there. The Here's Johnny animation is there. That's the Shining animation. I'm trying to remember what else I put into... Oh, I think the Alan Wake animation, which is not really Alan Wake. It's the flashlight with my face. That one is in there. And there's me, the one where my face turns into like a scary pumpkin head. That one's in there. Those are all the legacy ones. And now we've seen Frankenstein, Dracula, and Jurassic Park. There are 2 more. There's one for a $20 tip, and there's one for a $100 tip you guys haven't seen yet. So, more coming. Alright, Phaser, you enjoy your nap. Thanks for telling me about that. Jade says Beetlejuice. Oh, I'm not spoiling. There's 2 more left. There's 2 more animations left. One for 20 and one for 100. I'm not spoiling them. The 100 we'll probably never see. Seriously, I never get a $100 tip, so it would be so rare that we'll see it. We'll probably see it like once this month. Derek says, for the list of suggestions you sent me, I didn't see Jurassic Park on there. No, Jurassic Park, I would not consider a horror franchise. Even though it kind of is, I consider it more kind of sci-fi adventure thriller. I wouldn't put that on there. This is The Shining. I guess you could put The Shining on there, because I guess you consider The Shining and then its sequel, Dr. Sleep, a franchise. But I didn't see Dr. Sleep. So because I didn't see Dr. Sleep, that's going to be hard to rank. But The Shining, I would say yes, but not Jurassic Park. The Shining is horror. Absolutely, The Shining is a horror movie, for sure. Darth Goldbach, I like it all. He says, do you like any genre of horror movie more? Psychological, gore, ghost? I like them all. Even the really schlocky, like, found footage horror movies, I feel can still be enjoyable if you approach them that way. If you don't take them seriously, and you're just kind of watching them for, like, cheesy scares, or I wonder how they're going to try to frame this stupid camcorder shot to make it look scary, that's kind of fun. Yes, of course I saw The Grudge. Come on now. Is Goosebumps considered horror? No. No. I don't think so. Not true horror, anyway. What's up, X-Shooter? How you doing? Jay says Jurassic Park's my favorite movie. Oh, is it? Oh, cool. I didn't know that was your favorite overall movie. I never saw the Goosebumps show. A lot of you guys saw the Goosebumps TV show. I never saw it. I read the books. I actually had the books before anything got transferred into a show or a movie. I had quite a few of them. I really liked the Goosebumps series as a kid. I owned like dozens of them. Doubtful I'll watch the new Saw movie. I don't even remember what the last one was. When a series goes on way too long, you kind of lose your interest in it. There's too many of certain things, you know. I don't really care about Saw anymore. Alright, cool. I think I saw Drag Me to Hell. I don't remember it, though, but I'm pretty sure I saw it. But I don't really remember it much. The last one was Spiral. Oh, I don't even know if I saw that. I don't even know if I saw that. I like how they keep trying to name them something different to pretend like they're not Saw, but they are, right? Like they'd Saw 3D. Oh, that's not a sequel to Saw. Yes, it is. The fuck are you talking about? Yes, it is. What was it, like Saw 7 or something like that? It's Spiral. No, it's not. It's Saw 9 or whatever. It's fucking Saw. Oh, no, that's Jigsaw. Fuck you. It's a Saw movie, you stupid asshole. Stop renaming it. We know it's Saw. You can't fool me. Oh, let's see here. What? Someone tipped $1 says, today is successful because you're playing the Resident Evil 4 DLC. Maybe you should have played it earlier. today is successful only because I'm playing the Resident Evil 4 DLC? You really believe that, huh? Really? Okay, I mean, if you really believe that, I think it's successful because I have an audience that came by to hang out with me. They like what I'm doing no matter what I do, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I had very successful days in the last week that wasn't the Resident Evil 4 DLC. I'm just saying, including yesterday. So I'm not really sure what your point is, but okay. Alright, guys, I think it is time for us to end the show. It's gone on long enough. I do need to take a break, by the way, to use the bathroom before we begin. A formal break. So, let us end the show. This is the final day of September. However, October is upon us. The Halloween horror season. It's going to be great. So many new release games. So much awesome stuff going on. I want to say thank you all for being with me for the awesome summer. But now it is official. We are really, really going into the hardcore gaming season, as they call it. Correct? And I'm excited for everything new, as we do every year. Thank you all for everything that you do for me, with all your support. And even though it's a little early, I think it's officially time for me to say, Happy Halloween.